Hey there, welcome to the Lowdown. I am MisterBo, and on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the Crash Bandicoot 4 reveal, brand new Pro Skaters being added into Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, a better look at Marvel's The Avengers game, as well as a better look at Cyberpunk 2077, and we also have a community topic to go over at the end of the show. Of course, you can have your topic in the show as well. All you need to do is go down into the comments below and just put it there. It can be anything gaming related, and if I like it, then it has a chance to be in next week's episode. Of course, if you have any opinions on any of the topics that we discussed today, then you can also leave those down in the comments below, and we'll talk about them as well in the episode. So let's start off with the big one, and that was the reveal of Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time. We got a reveal trailer, we got some gameplay, and we got a load of brand new information. So the main big bit of information here comes from the fact that this is Crash Bandicoot 4. It takes place after Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped, which came out all the way back in 1998. However, according to the developer Toys for Bob, the other games, so Wrath of Cortex all the way up to Mind of a Mutant, still technically count in some sort of timeline. We're just in a completely different timeline. Of course, It's About Time suggests we're going to be traveling through different times and dimensions, which means we might actually bump into some of the other games we've played previously. Now, of course, it being a brand new Crash Bandicoot means we're getting a brand new redesign. It's something more similar to what we saw with the Spyro Reignited trilogy. Bold, strong colours. They've kind of got rid of that sort of fur texture we saw in the Insane trilogy, and I personally really like it. They've also given the worlds and environments that we've seen in the trailers a lot more life. It's not just a narrow corridor you're going down now like in the Insane trilogy. There's a real world that you're progressing through, which I think is a really cool feature. Now, it is sticking to the linear platforming that we saw in the original trilogy. It's not going the open world route that we saw with games like Twinsanity. But personally, that's no deal breaker for me. I really preferred the linear games, and it seems like they're adding variety in terms of the linearity here. You're not just going to be going forwards all the time. There might be a section where you then do a rail grind, that could then go into a section where you're maybe swinging from ropes, to some horizontal gameplay. It looks like they're really making it diverse. The other big bit of information here is we're getting these things called the Quantum Masks, and these are a way for Toys for Bob to add in new gameplay mechanics that weren't present in the originals and bring some new life into how the games actually play. So there are 4 Quantum Masks, and we only know of 2 so far. The first one is the Time Mask, which allows you to slow down time in certain areas of levels to maybe progress through things that are moving too quick. In the gameplay, we've seen ice blocks falling, and you slow down time so you can actually jump on these ice blocks. Toys for Bob have also talked about how you can slow down time, jump on a nitro crate, and where that would normally just blow you up instantly, this time it's not going to, so you can trigger explosions. We also know of the Gravity Mask. Now, this one is pretty self-explanatory. In certain parts of the level, you can flip the gravity, so instead of walking on the floor, you can now walk on the ceiling, meaning you can avoid objects or get around places you wouldn't normally be able to get around. We don't know what the other 2 masks are at the moment and what gameplay mechanics they'll introduce, but I think this could be a really cool thing for the game. I just hope it isn't overused and isn't sort of just a gimmick where once you've done it a couple of times, you know what's coming and it's just a little bit boring. So fingers crossed they can keep that fresh throughout the whole game. Now, it is only coming out on the PS4 and the Xbox One at this time. Activision has said that if there is a want for it, they will consider a PC and a Switch release. It has also been confirmed that it will be optimized on the Xbox Series X, but we've had no word of that for the PlayStation 5 at this moment. We know obviously it will run on the new next-gen consoles, but whether it will be optimized, we do not know. Overall, I am super excited about this. This is definitely the route that I wanted Crash Bandicoot to take. I think the art style is definitely a lot more 2020, a lot more modern, and I think it really revitalizes this sort of franchise. Now, we'll come back to Crash Bandicoot in a bit when we get to our community topic. Now, another cool bit of information that came out this week is also from Activision. However, this time it's for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, which I am super excited about. I loved playing the originals back in the day on my PS1, especially Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, playing as Spider-Man, going to skate heaven, trying to get loads of combos. And then a couple of years ago, they released Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which was kind of a mishmash of 1 and 2 put together, and it was pretty good for what it was, but it wasn't really what 1 and 2 originally were. So now that we're getting that, I am super excited, and I can't wait to dive into it. But the cool bit of information this week is not only do we have a release date for that warehouse demo, they have confirmed that is coming out on August 14th, and in order to get that, all you need to do is pre-order digitally, so I'm definitely going to be hopping on that and having a go, and hopefully it feels exactly like the original. But the other cool bit of information is we are getting new pro skaters. Now, we've kind of known this for a little bit thanks to a video that the Berrics did, which showed off skaters in the new remaster, and they had Lizzie Armanto there, so a lot of people had assumed she was in the game. But now we know we're officially getting 8 brand new pro skaters, and some of those have actually appeared in previous Tony Hawk's games. So we are getting Nigel Houston, Leo Baker, Letitia Buffoni, Uri Nishimura, Lizzie Armanto, Shane O'Neill, Riley Hawk, and Tyshawn Jones. Tyshawn Jones obviously was leaked out a long time ago by Jason Dill when he leaked out that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 was actually a legit thing. To be honest, the more pro skaters, the merrier in my opinion. I think when it comes down to it though, I'm going to be playing as whoever the secret skaters are. I think that's the most exciting thing about these games is who is the secret skater and how do you unlock them in the game. I'm hoping we see the return of Officer Dick. I'm hoping we see the return of Pirate Carrera. Whether or not we get Spider-Man, we don't know. Sony doesn't actually own the rights to the Spider-Man IP when it comes to gaming. Marvel does. When it comes to the movies, yes, Sony owns that. So it could be a case of Activision going to Marvel and saying, hey, we are remastering these games. A big part of those games was Spider-Man. Would you be willing to allow us to put Spider-Man in this game? Who knows, we'll have to wait and see. But if not, maybe we get someone like a Crash Bandicoot in this game. We've seen graffiti in some of these screenshots that have Uka Uka on them. So there's definitely going to be some Crash Bandicoot Easter eggs hidden here and there. But this game really can't come out any sooner, and I just really hope that that warehouse demo is good, meaning the whole game is good. Now, leading on from there, we got a lot of gameplay from the new Marvels Avengers game, which I'll admit, when they first teased it, I think back in 2017, I was super hyped. It looked pretty cool. It was just like Thor's hammer, Captain America's shield, and that was kind of all it really was. I think we waited about a year or two until they actually revealed what this game was, and then I kind of became a little bit disinterested. Now, it is a games as a service game. It's kind of like an RPG looter, like Destiny in a way. You're going to be playing as each of the Avengers. You're going to be leveling them up. You're going to be changing your skill trees out so you have different powers. It seems like you've got kind of 2 basic abilities, and then you can charge up and use a super. You're going to be finding gear. So, for instance, they've shown off, with Iron Man, you can change his gauntlets and you can get different rarities, and some of those come with different perks, and you can really sort of min-max your build so you're playing exactly how you want. That's all cool, but when it comes to the actual gameplay itself, it doesn't look very interesting in my opinion. We've seen that there is a single player to this, and you can just play through that on your own no matter what. And then there's the co-op aspect of this game, which I am more excited about than the single player. 4-player co-op, and you can play all of these co-op missions on your own if you'd like to. It will replace everyone with AI, but I don't know, again, it just doesn't look fun and sort of replayable. That's what you want from a game like this. That's what you want from a game like Destiny, Borderlands, The Division, is replayability. So you're grinding out, playing fun missions to get this better gear, to then progress onto another mission and just rinse and repeat. There is a beta coming up fairly soon. Obviously, the game launches in September, so it's going to be happening in the next month or two, coming first to PS4, but I really want to get my hands on it, see what it's like, and just hope that it's not another Anthem. That's my personal thing with this. I don't want it to be another Anthem, because that game was hyped up, it looked pretty cool, it looked like you were basically Iron Man flying around, and then it fell flat on its face. Hopefully, now when you actually are playing as Iron Man, it doesn't do the same thing, and hopefully it will progress and grow and be expanded upon like we've seen with other sort of looter shooter games and games as a service games. But that's just my opinions on it. I am excited to see more. They have confirmed they are doing another event every so often to reveal more stuff. In the next one, they're showing off a new additional hero which will be added in as free content later down the line. Hopefully every hero they add into this isn't like a mainstream hero. And what I mean by that is someone who's heavily featured in the MCU. I think that's what kind of put me off with this. I'd have liked to have seen a different sort of variation of the Avengers than the ones we got in the MCU personally. Another big game we got a lot more of this week as well though is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I've kind of been feeling the same way about Cyberpunk as I have been with Avengers, and that is, it looks cool. We really haven't seen enough to know. I'm someone who's never played the Witcher games, so I don't really know about those games and how good they are, but this definitely speaks to me a lot more than those Witcher games. The thing for me is, when it comes to like heavy RPG games, I really don't like playing them on my own. I don't like single-player RPGs. I love multiplayer RPGs and co-op RPGs, and they have confirmed Cyberpunk is definitely getting a multiplayer mode in about a year's time. We don't know what that is, whether that's just co-op, whether it's PvP. We'll have to wait and see. So it's been on my radar. I haven't been like super hyped up for it, but what we got yesterday was really cool. We got a load of trailers, we got a load of gameplay, and they showed off this new thing. I believe it's called Brain Dance. And it's basically detective mode from Arkham Origins and Arkham Knights from the Batman games, but like times 100. You play through someone else's basically memory, and then you can zoom out in a camera mode, fast forward, reverse time, look for different audio signals, hack into CCTV, scan people, and really find out what was going on in that moment. And apparently that's something that's going to sort of continue out throughout the game. It's not just a one-off event, which is super cool. And it kind of gets me excited to see what the new Batman game, when that gets announced, is also going to do with detective mode in the future as well. Now, along with the gameplay reveal that they showed off yesterday, I know a load of media and influencers got a chance to actually play the game, and it seems like everyone is still super hyped for this game. No one came back saying, yeah, it wasn't what I thought. Everyone, from what I've seen, has said, yeah, this game is exactly what you thought it was going to be. It is the most anticipated game of the year. And the amount of content it looks like this game has got in it, looks like you could just buy this game and you wouldn't probably need to get another game for about a year. By that time, the multiplayer would come out, and then you play the multiplayer, and then you have a Cyberpunk anime. Yes, there's a Cyberpunk anime on the way. It's called Edge Runners, and it doesn't come out until 2022, but it is going to be its sort of own original story. It's not really going to tie into the games, it's just going to be set in the world of Cyberpunk, and that looks super cool. We got just sort of an image. Obviously, it's still a long way away, but hey, I'm excited to see what they could do with an anime of Cyberpunk. It really sort of fits itself to that kind of style, so that's really awesome to see. And yeah, I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of Cyberpunk over the next couple of weeks and months leading up to its launch on November 19th. And this game kind of gets me more excited for GTA 6 in a way. I want what they're doing here in terms of the amount of like quests and detail in the world to be moved over into something like a GTA 6 where you've got like GTA Online. I think that would be super cool. And this game kind of feels like a next-gen game, even though it's not next-gen yet. When it does launch on November 19th, you're probably expecting the PS5 and the Xbox Series X to already be out, so you'll probably just pick this game up on those new consoles, and hopefully it will look amazing, run amazing, and just be super fun to play. So I'm very excited for that. Now, a game that, according to some people, is amazing, and according to other people, isn't, is The Last of Us 2. And as of today, it is now the biggest PlayStation 4 launch ever. It has sold 4 million units since the 21st of June and has dethroned Uncharted 4, which was the previous record holder. And Naughty Dog is pretty much unstoppable at this point. I myself haven't played the original. I'm not going to play The Last of Us 2. I have heard it's very divisive. I have seen the leaks. But it's going to be interesting to see what Naughty Dog does after this, whether they lead up to some sort of other Last of Us game, maybe they go back to Uncharted, or maybe it's a fresh slate for them. Maybe they start on something brand new. We know there's going to be an Uncharted movie on the way. We know there's a Last of Us TV show on the way. So it's going to be interesting to see what Naughty Dog does from now on out. Obviously, that's probably a very long way away, at least 3 or 4 years. Speaking of exclusives, though, we also had our first tease for Halo Infinite, a game I am very, very excited about. So over on Twitter, the Halo account posted an audio recording of someone who will be familiar to you if you have played Halo Wars 2, and that is the Banished. Now, the Banished are basically a different faction of the Covenant in a way. They were banished from the Covenant. This leader, who was a brute called Atriox, kind of split off and formed his own group, and that's who you fight in Halo Wars 2. He kind of got away at the end of Halo Wars 2, and a lot of people had been speculating, would we see the Banished in Halo Infinite? And it seems like we definitely are. Now, that's all cool. I'm still waiting, hopefully, that we're going to be getting the Flood in Halo Infinite, but the fact that they are teasing Halo Infinite means we're probably not very far away from getting our full reveal at the Xbox event sometime in July. Now, we have no date on that just yet. There is a rumor that it's going to be within the first week or two, and at this event, we're expecting, obviously, an in-depth gameplay demo of Halo Infinite, Everwild, which is that new game from Rare, which kind of has a cool fantasy vibe, but also kind of looks like Sea of Thieves, which is the game they previously made. We're also expecting a reveal for whatever the quadruple A game the initiative is working on, and as of yesterday, someone has done some snooping around and actually found a dormant Twitter account that was created in March of this year for Fable. So it seems like the Fable announcement is very soon as well, probably at the same event. The rumor around that is it's being developed by Playground Games, who has previously worked on the Forza Horizon games, and with their latest one, Forza Horizon 4, where they did England, well, that game looked beautiful. They added in seasons, so it seems like all that tech is hopefully going to be put into this new reboot of Fable, which hopefully should be very exciting. Apart from that, though, we don't really know what else to expect from this. Xbox seems to be going big with this one. A lot of insiders have said this is going to be an event full of mic drops. I wouldn't expect anything from the console itself in terms of the Xbox Series S, which is a heavily rumored console being announced here, or a price for the Xbox Series X. The rumor at this point in time is that we're going to see all of that in a new event in August. At the same time, we're probably going to be getting that state of play from PlayStation, revealing some more information about that, and probably when pre-orders are going live and the price of the PlayStation 5. So expect all of that stuff in August. But yeah, I'm super excited for Halo Infinite. I can't wait to see more, and I'm super excited to see what Xbox has to show in their event. From there, let's move on to our community topic of the week. And our topic comes from Cameron Luke, who says, who are you hoping returns to Crash 4 post Naughty Dog era? Now that is a pretty interesting question. We know we're getting Dingo Doll, we know we're getting Entropy, we know we're getting Brio, probably if the concept art leaks from last year are legit. Who would I like to see return from the post Naughty Dog games? I would actually like to see Rillaroom make an appearance in this new Crash Bandicoot game. I think that would be kind of cool to see. I think someone who definitely has a real possibility of being in this game is Entrance, because I feel like he could fit really well into the story. But if I had to pick anyone, it would probably have to be Norm and Big Norm. Now maybe we head to a dimension and we see the CNK boss characters, or maybe there's a boss fight against some of them, like an actual boss fight instead of just a race fight. I think that'd be kind of cool to see. So Norm and Big Norm are my picks there, but I would also like to see Entrance as well as Rillaroo. I think Entrance would just kind of make sense overall. Of course, if any of you have a topic that you would like me to discuss on a future episode of The Lowdown, then leave that down in the comments below. It doesn't have to be Crash Bandicoot related. It could be about anything I've discussed here, maybe the upcoming Xbox event, maybe what I think the price of the PlayStation 5 is going to be. Whatever it might be, leave your topics down in the comments below, and I'll go through them and pick one out for next week's episode. Again, you can also leave me your opinions on any of the topics we've discussed here, and I may feature them in next week's episode as well. Now, I did say in last week's episode that we'd go over the poll results that I usually put up on the channel, but this week has been a crazy week. I've been covering a ton of Crash Bandicoot stuff, as well as Tony Hawk's, and unfortunately I didn't have time to put up a poll, but I will be putting up one shortly, and then we'll go over the results next week. Again, if you have any feedback for this show, because this is something that's pretty fresh on the show, this is episode 1, we had episode 0 last week. I'm going to be continuing to do this every Friday. So yeah, if you have any feedback for how you'd like the show to progress, whether that's to do with the topics, the structure, whatever it might be, leave them down in the comments below and I'll try my best to improve upon this as we go. Thank you very much for the support on last week's episode. This is just something fun for me to do. And again, it's still kind of an experiment to see if you guys enjoy it and allow me to talk about things that I wouldn't really talk about on the channel. If you do enjoy this, then click that like button to let me know. If you are new around here, subscribe, because there's going to be a new Lowdown every week, every Friday. Plus, there's a load of content going up on the channel. Currently, I'm trying to upload daily, so that's Monday to Friday. I've managed to stick to it so far, so let's see how long I can actually stick with it. But again, thank you very much for watching this episode of The Lowdown. I have been MisterBo. You can follow me over on Twitter at IamMisterBo if you want to have a discussion or just see what I'm up to. But thank you very much for listening and for hanging out. And as always, take care. Bye-bye.